speech, succinctly titled Ice Cream.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here listening to my first speech at Toastmasters. I'm going to start by asking a few questions, serious questions. Do you love your job? Are you passionate about what you do? When you wake up in the morning, are you excited about the work that lies ahead of you? Do you dread it? So I am making this speech about you as much as it is about me. And the me part starts when I was very young, probably about 10 years old, and it relates to the questions I just brought up. When I was about 10 years old, I already knew I had a passion for fitness. I was a child of the 80s, so I loved watching Arnold Schwarzenegger movies and Sylvester Stallone movies. And when I saw these guys on screen, I wanted to be like them. I wanted to be strong. I wanted to build muscle. So when I was 10 years old, I asked my dad if I could use his barbell set. And he said no, because I was too young. But it started then. By 12 years old, just 2 years later, I built my own weight machine. And from there, my interest in fitness blossomed to a competitive career in martial arts. So I competed on a national level in Taekwondo. I had Olympic aspirations. And around this time, my teen years, the call to go to college came up. And I went to the University of Illinois, and I majored in microbiology. And you cannot major in microbiology and try to compete for the Olympics at the same time. Just takes too much of your time to accomplish. So sort of gradually, I moved over towards the education side of my life and sort of pushed aside the athletic, fitness, competitive side. It's what you're supposed to do, right? Almost no one makes a career as a professional athlete, and athletics is supposed to be just a hobby. It's not what you do for a living. So I continued on my education route and had a decent talent in it, enough to major in microbiology, and then a few years later, went to law school, got a law degree. All the while still passionate about fitness. However, once I graduated, I did practice as an attorney, but deep inside, I was really unhappy with what I was doing. I felt a strong disconnect between my job as an attorney and who I was as a person. None of it matched my personality or my passion, and there wasn't also the opportunity in law at that time that I thought there would be. I graduated in 2009 from law school, probably the worst year our economy has seen in a long time. So the promise of a law degree just wasn't there anymore. And the jobs that I had within it really stifled my personality. It was very rigid, the culture of law, and I'm not. It was very demanding in terms of the hours that you spend in an office. I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that. Almost all people who go to college end up with a job in an office. And at that time, I was spending 8, 10, 12 hours a day in an office, and it was really tough for someone like me who loves to be active, who loves to be fit, being cramped in a small cubicle or an office where you were just dealing with paper all day long. The problem was that I was kind of good at it. So there's a dilemma. Even if you're good at it and it's what society says you should do you continue with that? Or do you slam the brakes, do a 180, turn the boat around, and try to find something different, something that's who you are. And it's what I did. I asked myself, all right, Dan, you're not happy in law. Pretend money doesn't matter. Pretend for a moment, just one moment, that any job that you get is going to pay the same amount of money. So it's a non-factor. What would you want to do with your life? How would you want to spend it? And at this time, I was working out even more than I had in a long time. I was spending a lot of time at the gym. I got to befriend a lot of personal trainers. And I saw their lifestyle and what they were doing, helping people. And I said, that's exactly what I want to do. I want to be in fitness. I didn't know before that I could make it a career, but I found out then that I could just by looking and listening and asking myself, what is my passion? What do I want to do? And so I ask all of you to ask the same question of yourself. If money didn't matter, how would you spend your day to earn a living? What would you do? There could be anything. And forget talent. And I'll close with that. Don't undersell yourself based on talent. There's a nice expression that I like. A woman asks a man, can you play the piano? The man says, I don't know if I can play the piano. The woman says, how do you not know whether you can play the piano? The woman says, or the man says, I never tried. And so I think it's like that. If you haven't tried, how can you know? So ask yourself that question. You might be surprised.